Civility, understanding, and respect for all people. It's an ideal that can sometimes seem beyond our current social and political culture, but it's one espoused by interfaith Jacksonville nonprofit OneJax. We're joined now by the brand new CEO of OneJax. After a national search, the group settled on a known local figure, Elizabeth Anderson. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Anne.
It's our pleasure. So now you don't even officially assume your leadership duties until February 5th.
Right.
So you're giving us kind of an advance look at things.
I think when you take on a job like this, and you've already got so many great relationships in the community, as soon as the announcement's made, you step in and you start taking on meetings and calendar invites and making sure that people know exactly who OneJax is and the work that we want to do.
And so let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, how are you preparing? What is the job as you understand it?
I'm excited about taking on this CEO role. The staff at OneJax is incredible. They're very talented folks. And so, my job is going to be to help them do what they do best, to bring more awareness to the community, to be that face and bring in philanthropy so that we can continue to bring people that are different together in Jacksonville.
And what was the animating idea behind OneJax when it was formed? It's been more than 50 years, right?
It has been more than 50 years. The organization has consistently stood behind the mission of bringing people who are different together, for whether that is their religious differences or identity differences. And it has been rooted in the NCCJ work from many, many years ago.
NCCJ.
So it was the National Coalition of Christians and Jews. Now it is the National, I think the word is coalition, that C,
For
Community and Justice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And so what is the rationale behind kind of getting people together? What's the sense of what that accomplishes? People of different backgrounds.
I think we believe firmly that people have way more in common than we do different. And if we can sit down, if we can break bread together, if we can listen to each other openly and empathically, we'll recognize that we are so much better and stronger together, and we can really move issues forward for our community and live happy, thriving lives. Our differences don't define us. We don't all have to agree. And when we disagree, we can do that civilly.
So as it happens, one of the reasons that you're a known quantity in Jacksonville is you're a former chair of the Duval County School Board, a job that I would argue, and tell me if you disagree, became a lot more difficult, a lot more contentious, and riven by the sort of disparities, the differences that OneJax tries to mend.
Absolutely. I think, no doubt, we are living in very politically polarizing times. Issues that would have been easily agreeable sometimes now feel strangely disconnected. And so I think that being able to step into this space is exciting for me. I'm looking forward to being able to do work that brings us together. We have guiding principles at OneJax that are the foundation of everything we do. So things like coming together for respect, courage. But one of those is being able to recognize our creative tension, that we face disagreements and discord to elicit better ideas and outcomes. And I think that that's really important work.
I mean, not to be flippant, but does OneJax do any outreach with the school board and the school board meetings?
Interestingly, we have an entire program dedicated to One Youth. People can go on our website and see more about that work. In the past, we have done work with our local schools, and we want to continue to do work, certainly with our youth, as our public schools and universities have been required to step away from DEI work. We are ready to stand in the gap and make sure that students and families and really anyone that wants to join in this work, that we are there for them.
And are there lessons that you take from what you witnessed in terms of, being on the school board, running the school board, and as meetings got more and more contentious in the last few years?
Again, I think that it's really just about recognizing that we are all different. We have different motives. We have different experiences. But at the end of the day, most people, I believe, are good people, have a good heart, and want to do what's right for them, that follows their values, their culture, for their family. And when we can sit down and talk together and learn at what's at the heart of that, then we're all better for it.
And so what are some of your first priorities when you actually get into the office and take over on the 5th?
Sure. So OneJax has had a year of tremendous change. OneJax left the UNF campus where they had been housed for more than a decade this past summer. So we are currently looking for permanent office space so that we can continue to do this great work. So stability is first and foremost priority. I'm really excited that we're going to be launching, actually on the day that I start, some new media around the I Am Jacksonville campaign. People can learn more about that at iamjacksonville.org. And then we'll be preparing for our humanitarian awards, which happens in May, and people can go ahead and find information for sponsorship or tickets at our website, onejax.org.
Well, Elizabeth Anderson, new CEO of OneJax, thanks so much for coming on, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Thank you so much.